Welcome back to another live and amplified special edition of the Hoedown Showdown. We are here at CRS. We have another special guest with us. We have Queeva. How's it going today?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing pretty good. I'm finally getting my second win back. So, it's one of those things where I drove in from Texas this morning, and so, yeah.
Oh, wow. This morning?
Yeah.
How are you doing it?
I'm just pushing along, so.
Good for you.
We're getting there. So how's CRS been for you this year?
It's been great. This is my first day here, actually, so I'm really excited to be back.
Nice. So you've been to CRS last year, or?
I was here probably 4 years ago when I was younger, yeah.
Okay, cool. So just kind of looking at you as a musician, where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
So I currently live in Chicago, and I grew up there, but both of my parents are actually from Ireland, so I spend almost every summer there, and that's kind of where I spend a lot of my time, but I'm kind of back and forth, and then obviously I come to Nashville a lot.
Gotcha. So I have a very important question then.
Okay.
Are you Chicago proper, or do you live in the suburbs?
I live in the suburbs.
Okay.
Yeah, but I like to go down to the city too.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
Fair. I have to ask that question because I got yelled at once for saying I live in I lived in Chicago, grew up in Chicago, and I didn't.
Right.
Not in actually Chicago, so.
Yeah, that's so true, because honestly, it just depends, because people don't know the suburb towns. So if you just said you were from a suburb in Illinois, it's not as cool,
Yeah, for sure. So growing up around Chicago, what was that like for you? Were you on the north side or south side? Or?
North side.
Okay.
I think growing up in Chicago, I loved it, but unfortunately, I don't think country music was a big thing there. So thankfully, my dad was a huge country music fan, and that's kind of where I got the inspiration from. But other than that, I love growing up there.
For sure. Where you said your dad was into country music, but did either of your parents sing or anything, or?
Neither of my parents sang, but my grandmother she used to do this type of Irish singing that was called shannos, and she was really great at it, so I guess I owe some of that to her for sure. She was a big inspiration for me.
Awesome. And then when did you kind of start to realize that singing was something you wanted to do?
I think that growing up, I originally wanted to be an actress, but then when I was 9 years old, I had the opportunity to go into a recording studio and write my first song. And after that experience, I kind of just realized that music was what I loved, and it was something that I had always loved. But after writing my first song, I think that's kind of when I realized that I wanted to make it a career, I guess, in the future. For
sure. Did you get to pursue acting at all, or was it?
Yeah, I actually did, but I was only 7 years old when I started acting, but I was able to do some fun stuff. I did some Build-A-Bear commercials. I was in an episode of Chicago Fire, so just stuff like that, yeah.
Some real Chicago stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
I always forgot that they filmed that stuff actually in Chicago, and then I sit down and watch it, and it's like, oh, this is actually Chicago they're filming.
Exactly.
Kind of like the Law and Order stuff out in New York. So.
Yes.
No, it's cool. I'm glad you got to pursue it and at least give it a try, but obviously the true passion kind of
for sure
won its way out. So
definitely.
So kind of looking at your music, when you started taking it seriously, what was the hardest part about writing music for you? I
think that when I first started releasing songs that I was proud of, I would say I was probably 14 years old, and I think that's something that I struggled with, was thinking, are people gonna believe what I'm saying and feel that what I'm writing is true to me, even though it was at the time. But I feel like, if you're really young and you're writing songs, some people might kind of look past it and be like, oh, she doesn't really know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
And that's kind of something that I thought about. But as I've been able to, grow older and get more experiences in my life, I think that I've been able to write about more things, because when you're younger, there's only a small variety of things. You can't write about going out to the bars or that kind of stuff. So now it's different for sure. Yeah,
it's one of those hills that young musicians have to get over when they write a song that has a lot of complexity to it. It kind of gets written off as, oh, they're just mimicking something that they heard. So I'm glad that didn't deter you.
Thank you.
So jumping a little bit ahead, you've got a new single dropping on the 8th, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yep, right there. March 8th. What can you tell us about this song? And
So my upcoming single is called Be So Lucky, and I'm super excited to finally be releasing it. It was one of those songs where when we first wrote it, I was just so excited to get it out, and I think it just has a really fun vibe, and I'm just super excited for people to hear it.
yeah, nice. Is how long has it been in the works?
I actually wrote this song in 2023, so it's probably been a year since, I haven't released anything, but I'm pretty particular about the songs that I release, and I think a lot of artists are that way, but definitely looking forward to releasing more music as well.
Gotcha. So what was it about this song that kind of spoke to you, that saying, hey, this is what needs to be released?
I think Be So Lucky just kind of talked about a place that I was in my life, and I feel like nowadays it's kind of hard to hear happy songs that aren't cringy, in my opinion, because I feel like it's hard to write like a really happy love song that isn't cringy, and so I feel like this song really captured that perfectly, and I'm just really happy to be releasing something that's positive and kind of uplifting, and I hope to like uplift other people with it.
Yeah, for sure. So as you're kind of approaching like the last week, probably 10 days, I think at this point, if my math's correct, what's kind of running through your mind right now? Where's your headspace at as you approach the finish line for this?
I think, I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous, and also thinking about, working on releasing social content for it. I think that's the most important thing, and I'm just really excited to finally get it out there for people to hear.
Yeah, nice. And so looking forward, where are you kind of at creatively right now? Obviously, you got this song coming out here in a little over a week, but are you writing, or where are you kind of at creatively right now?
Yes, so I'm writing a lot, and I think that's the most important thing. I'm just currently working on new songs, and I'm hoping on releasing an EP sometime soon. So that's kind of what I'm working on.
Is this Be So Lucky kind of like a tester, or would this be a completely different project?
I think that this project would be kind of each song is its own, because I have a strong love for country music, and I also love pop music, so you might find something that's way more country and then something that's more pop country. So I'm kind of just excited to really just put them all together, even though they're kind of all a bit different, and just see what people like,
Yeah, for sure. You're kind of testing to see what people respond to. But then you also got to play the factor of just kind of figuring out what feels authentic to you.
Exactly.
So, and I think just kind of having the openness to try new things will definitely serve you so well moving forward.
100%.
So, how often are you playing shows right now? Are you playing pretty consistently, or?
So, I just got off the road with Hunter Hayes. I had the opportunity to open some shows for him, which was awesome, and that was my first time touring. So that was my latest, I guess, show schedule, but upcoming I do have some things I can't say it yet, but I'm really excited about.
Gotcha. And for you, like, what's a comfortable amount of shows, like, per week or month, or?
Honestly, as many as I can get. I'll take it.
Fair.
I love it.
Because I know some musicians try to, like, if they do too many shows, their voice starts to strain and all that stuff. So it's always
true.
kind of.
Yeah, maybe not a show every single day.
Yeah, fair.
A few a week.
So outside of music, when you have some free time, what do you like to do? What are some of your hobbies?
I like to ski, which is fun in the winter time, and it's great because in Chicago you can drive like an hour up to Wisconsin and ski. And I have 7 dogs at home.
Nice.
I have 5 siblings, so I love spending time with the family and my friends.
Nice.
And going to the gym too.
Fair.
Yes.
So how often do you go to Wisconsin? Do you go pretty?
It depends on the weather. Chicago's been kind of weird. We haven't had that much snow, and if like when you go skiing, if you don't have the real snow, it's not the same.
Yeah.
And if you fall, it hurts way worse.
Yeah.
So, but maybe every 2 weeks if I'm home, like I'll go up for a weekend and we'll go skiing together.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool. So for anybody that wants to check out your music or any of that fun stuff, where's the best place to find you online?
All my social media is at Queeva Music, and so they can find me there. And then my website is queevamusic.com.
Awesome. What or what piece of advice do you have for the young musicians out there?
I think the advice that I have for musicians out there is just to never give up, because I know it's kind of cliche, but it's very true, because the music industry is not easy and it's very competitive, and always stay authentic to who you are as well, for sure.
So are you a Cubs fan or are you a Sox fan?
I'm going to say Sox because I think the Cubs kind of suck.
I mean, the Sox ain't much better, to be fair. So.
Well, honestly, I am not joking. I have not been to a Cubs game where they have won.
Okay.
Ever. But I've been to a Sox game where they've won, so I'm going to have to go Sox.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. So, anyways, once again, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate your time. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we will catch you all later.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.